Good evening. Thank you very much. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our 17th annual fashion show. Give yourself a round of applause for that, yes. My name is Valencia Harris, aka Miss V. This is my lovely, beautiful coworker, Miss Beth Murphy, Miss Beth. And we are the dynamic duo of the fashion program here at Orange Technical College. Speaking of dynamic duos, thank you. There are a number of dynamic duos that are putting this show on just for you, our special guests. We thank you for coming. Let me introduce you to a couple of these wonderful duos that we have. You see all these cameras and this film crew that we have. That is led by our dynamic duo, Jeremiah Bombach and Mr. Paul Reed. You see some of our photography crew as well. They are led by Charles Brewer. He's in the building somewhere. We also have cosmetology, and that's a big crew of our cosmetology department. Patricia Nicholson, Miss Pope, Miss McDonough, Miss Graybill. You can give them a round of applause. We also have our digital media that is featured as well with the signs and things that you see around the building as well. That is Ross Usi and Grant Tadaldi. I know it's a lot of clapping, but there are a lot of people who put this on. They make us look good. They give you a lot of entertainment that goes along with this. So I just want you to just give a big round of applause for this wonderful guy who allows us to use this beautiful facility. That would be Mr. Alex Heidelberg. And I can't say enough for this guy who is my director at our Orlando campus, Mr. Andrew Jenkins. He always says yes when I ask him to do this big old show, so we got to give it up for Mr. Jenkins. Okay. And finally, I'd like to thank all of you, especially all of you who are here to see your student, whether they're in the digital photography, digital video, or some of the designers, some of the models. Thank you so much for supporting them. This is a lot of work. I know they've been crying and not eating or eating too much and not sleeping to get this show on the road. So I thank you, parents, friends, family members, brothers, sisters, cousins, aunties, uncles, whoever else is here. Thank you so much for allowing these students to do what they do in this room. Thank you. And I have to just say one more final thank you to my family, because my family makes this happen for me. And they know that when mama ain't happy, nobody's happy. So thank you, honey. Thank you, kids, because they come and help do it too. Thank you so much. So without further ado, I'm going to allow you to turn your attention to the big screens up here, and the students will lead the way.
Hi, my name is Gretchen. I've been in the fashion program since this past August. My decade for the fashion show is the 1900s, so that's 1900 to 1909. I chose the 1900s as my time period because I wanted to do garments that would be very impressive when they were completed, because the 1900s is a lot of really long, flowing fabrics, and my favorite stories are something that really inspires me through my work. And the 1977 film Pete's Dragon actually takes place in the early 1900s. So my models will each be wearing an ensemble that is inspired by a character from the film. And I'm just very happy that it's finished and that I get to show everything to all of you tonight.
So what made me want to do fashion? Well, I used to sew with my grandparents, specifically like my both grandmothers. I started sewing probably when I was around 5 or 6, again with darning socks with my grandmother Marie. This theme that I'm focusing on for the show is 1900s to 1909, the Edwardian era. I would describe my design as smart, but outside of the box. I would look at the design and I make modifications to it to my own viewpoint, whether it be extra lace in the train or adding a button where there wasn't one before, but still making it my own while following along with that decade.
I started doing fashion because I realized that it was my passion once I started making what they wanted for them and custom making outfits for other people, or just things that I had in my head and what I wanted and what I kind of pictured. I have the 20s, and I chose the 20s because I like the rich, elegant look, but the sassy look also, because around that time, fashion started to change. Fashion was making a statement with women cutting their hair, women shortening their dresses, and I just really liked that and the fact that it was a statement. In my line, I wanted to create a look for every single type of stereotypical person in the 20s.
My name is Maria Velos, and I'm a fashion technology student. What you're gonna see in the fashion show is the vibe of 1920s, fun, comfortable, but at the same time something really model. I choose 1920 because it have a lot of impact on fashion, and also it means a lot for me because that's when females, we earn a lot of rights. I would like to thank Miss Beth and Miss Veed for all the help and all the knowledge they share with us, and I was amazed how you can go from no experience, basic, and create what we create.
My name is Unisha White, and I'm in the Fashion Technology program. I chose the 1940s as my theme because I just like how they dress. It's more of conservative but feminine type of look with a little bit of masculinity, and that's always been my reference for fashion. Feminine with a little bit of masculinity, so that's just what I like. What inspired me the most about this era is really how conservative the women are with what they wear, whether it's a bathing suit or it's just a business outfit. And because it was around the time of the war, they were really proud of their country, so the colors remained the same throughout it, and I really like that color choice. I didn't like going around having the same thing that everybody else had. I had always wanted to have something a little bit different that everybody else wanted. So I chose to start trying to make my own things because I wanted to be different and unique.
I chose design and fashion as a career because somehow I've always been into fashion. I kind of started off with drawing, then I was crocheting, and then somehow I ended up here. But it's always been like a part of me. So my personal style is being classy, but a little bit of sexy at the same time. Yeah. The best part would have to be being able to just express yourself and do what you want to do and make what you want to make, how you want it to be made. So that would be the best part.
I'm Morgan McAdam. I'm 19 years old, and I'm in the Fashion Technology program at Orange Technical College. This is my first year designing clothes. I've always been into art, and I just love creating things. The 1950s, when I think of the 1950s, I think of the vintage Vogue covers that are really chic, and the bright patterns, and just the things that never really go out of style, and that's what I want to remember my first fashion show being. I found a lot of my inspiration in the vintage Vogue covers, the editorial pictures that you just find, and you think of when you think of 50s is Marilyn Monroe, Audrey Hepburn, the pretty curls, the red lipstick. That's really just the feeling I wanted people to get when they saw my pieces, but I wanted to add a lot of whimsical things to keep it mine.
My name is Shanice Smith. I'm from St. Petersburg, Florida, and I'm a fashion designer. It actually happened pretty random. Like, me and my sister, we like to do photo shoots for our birthday every year. So this particular birthday, we couldn't find the outfit that we wanted. So I just randomly said, I'm gonna make it myself. And then from that point forward, I just never stopped designing. Like, it just happened. I chose the 1950s because I really wanted to do Marilyn Monroe. So then I researched, what decade was Marilyn Monroe really popular in, and it was the 1950s. So from there, I looked into Marilyn Monroe's fashion, and I was just very inspired. And the reason I love Marilyn Monroe is because she didn't care what others thought of her, and she really expressed herself through her fashion. So coming here really taught me all the basics and all the tools that I needed to really be a great designer.
Hi, my name is Kevin Graham-Lutz, Raymond Snyder, but I do go by Keisha now. Yeah, I am currently a student at Orlando Technical College. I do study fashion design and production technology. This year's fashion show, Decades, is the theme we're doing, and my decade is the 1960s. I've been drawing and doing very creative things since a very young age. I'm working for a major art house, a major fashion house, whether it be like Chanel, Louis Vuitton, is eventually what I want to do, as well as start my own fashion line.
Hi, my name is Celeste Thomas. My fashion line is based off of the 1960s, and I tried to incorporate all of the stages, the baby stage, the hippie stage, and the formal stage. So I have a lot of colors and a lot of fringes and just crazy fun looks. What inspired me to do this fashion line is just to express myself. So I feel like this era was just another way for me to express myself aside from formal wear. My fashion line, described in 3 words, could be fun, bright, and colorful.
My name is Naya Hawkins. My line is eccentric, spunky, funky, and very fun. I chose the 70s because it's very different, and I feel like it's an underrated era and it just needed to be shown to the world more. My grandfather actually inspired me. I remember one day my grandmother, she was digging through her closet looking at old photos, and I saw what he was wearing during the 70s, and that basically
helped me envision what I was going to create for the fashion show. What inspired me was watching old Soul Train videos on YouTube, and I really love to watch the disco line and see what people wore. I hope that everybody enjoys my pieces, and I thank you, Ms. V, for your patience and your time.
I got interested in fashion because I like creating things and I like basically like putting things together and making new outfits. I see fashion as a career because I feel like that's something that I'm really interested in. I feel like fashion really is my getaway in a way. I feel like it's just fun and it's something that I really see myself doing. One thing I'll tell someone about coming into this fashion program is that just be yourself. Just come in here knowing yourself, knowing your style. Don't ever try to copy what somebody else is doing because, I mean, it's never gonna work out. If you look at somebody else's garment and then you think, well, I really wanna make that, and then you make it and then it looks crazy, it's because you're not really being yourself. So just make things that you're comfortable with, and then sooner or later, those, couture dresses will come.
Hi, my name's Elaine Perdomo. My fashion line is about the 90s, the hip-hop era, and how colorful it was. The music of the 90s hip-hop inspired me because I grew up South Bronx, New York, where hip-hop originated. If I could describe my line in 3 words, it would be colorful, nostalgic, and comfortable. What artists inspired me for my line was Lil' Kim, TLC, Notorious B.I.G. I always remember listening to the hip-hop music or rap, R&B, and stuff like that growing up. It just stuck with me since then. People that I would like to say thanks to is my teacher, Miss B, my mother, my brother, my cousin, and myself.
I'm Wishin Chen. My year for the fashion show is 2000. For the fashion show, I want to make some like Lolita fashions. So I just go to find some pattern that is more looks like a Lolita, and then maybe do some adjust on the like a more ruffled or a little bit change on the sleeves, like that, to make my own design. When I went to Japan for the visit, my friend and she bring me to go shopping something, so I remember some special design in there, so I want to make the dress like they do.
My name is Odalis Vasquez, and I study fashion production and technology to become a seamstress. I chose the 2010s because that is when there's new styles coming in as well as past styles. They're being combined and recreated to basically create what we wear now. There has been different ways to express yourself. People are starting to use art, music to kind of say what they feel, and that's something that I would also like to do. What I like most about fashion is that I get to expand my knowledge in the fashion industry as well as bring my art to life, and it's really about not having a limit to your creativity.
My name is Stephanie Rodriguez. I've been doing fashion basically my whole life. I chose 2010 to now because I didn't want to choose one specific decade and stick to that. I wanted to incorporate all of the decades, which is what we wear now. My inspiration, I would say, is different challenges mostly right now, getting out of high school and starting off on my own. I love music, so I like kind of alternative rock, Nirvana and all that good stuff. So I kind of took that as well and made it into the collection, so that's, I guess you can say that's an inspiration as well.
I am representing 2010, and I'm excited because most of the people I sew for are young people, and I just wanted to stay in that time period. I get an interest in fashion when I was a child. My mom is a seamstress slash tailor, and I used to love to watch her sew, and she would always cut fabric, like dolls' clothes, and give me a needle and try to sew it. I was always impressed with all the beautiful gowns that I see her sew. You know, as I got older, I decided that I wanted to do that. I just love creating things. I love seeing garments that I have created on people that I've made it for. I've really enjoyed being in the fashion class. Miss Beth and Miss B have taught me a whole lot. I didn't really make use of it when my mom was here, but now I've learned a whole lot and I really loved it.
Hi, my name is Jordan Wright. I'm in fashion technology here at Orange Technical College. I've chose to study fashion because I've always been interested ever since I was a little girl. I always remember when I was little I would hand sew with my grandmother, and that just opened up a whole new world for me. My designs are fashion from the future, so that's kind of reflecting where I am going with my career. I'm looking towards the future to see what I want to do with it and where I want to proceed. My inspiration for my designs was mostly looking at high fashion and trying to decide where is the future of fashion taking us. Fashion is an expression of art that is able to be worn. What I'd like to do with my talents is I would like to ultimately become a fashion designer and open my own line.
My name is Joy Sakaung. I was born and raised in Africa. I love fashion because fashion is who I am, is what I am, it's my gift, like it's part of me. My motivation comes from accomplishing something in life. My decade is 2020. Literally, we do not know what the future holds, but I believe that my future is Africa, and that is what I want to implement in my future. Or when someone sees what you created and they try that piece on, and you see that smile on that face, is like, it's priceless. That smile is priceless to me.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, weren't they amazing? Oh my gosh! Y'all killed it! You are amazing! You are awesome! You guys did it. You rock! I love you all. My students are so fantastic. I'm so proud of them. They did a fantastic job. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for coming. You can go up and meet and greet them. They're upstairs right there. So if any of the designers are available for hire, so go on ahead, have a good evening, have safe journeys. Thank you.